Hey guys, welcome back to Minecraft. Now, Telltale have sponsored me to build something from episode 2 from their new game, Story Mode, and I did see something that I liked from the episodes that I've watched. I haven't played it myself, but I have been watching my favorite YouTubers play it. I watched Martin's playthrough live on livestream. It takes the best parts of Minecraft and puts it kind of into like an action adventure narrative. It's really cool. And you kind of push the story in the game through your own decisions and your own actions. So it kind of, you make the choice to go left or right. It's really challenging, and it's inspired heavily by Minecraft. And you can just see that in the builds and the textures and the models. It looks like a lot of music videos, actually, a lot of Minecraft music videos. It's pretty cool. If you want to check out the game, there is a link in the description box below for you to buy it. It's pretty cool. Check it out. I suggest it. And I saw something that looks really cool that I'd love to build. So I'm going to be building that. It's not going to be Let's Build. It's not going to be time-lapse. But I'm going to zip over underneath a mountain. And what I'm going to be building is the fortress underground that has the large kind of amulet in the wall and the giant stone statues at either side, because they kind of looked a bit like spacemen. So I'm going to go over and find a nice little mountain to carve out. And we're going to start building that underground fortress area. Basically, it's where they go after they kind of get shown a place under the mountain. There's that door in the mountain, and there's those stone statues and the giant amulet as well carved into the wall. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carve out a nice flat area here and rebuild my own version of that. Now, if you haven't played Story Mode, check it out. If you're not going to check it out, then what you can do is watch maybe Hannah, who's streaming it. Hannah has a YouTube channel she's playing it on. Also Martin, my friend Martin in the Littlewood, he's also played through it, so you can check out the VODs on his Twitch stream. They should be up, and he'll probably be uploading himself playing through that at some point anyway on his YouTube channel, so look out for that. Okay, and that's probably enough grass now. That'll probably grow over time. So this is a nice flat area. And we're going to start by building the first one of these statues that's carved into the sides of the walls. Now, this is going to be as if the whole mountain is kind of crumbled, and all that's left is like the remnants of these statues and the giant amulet carved into a wall. So we're going to start off with some stone. And again, I'm using vanilla textures for this, just because that's what the game is played in, so that's what makes the most sense. Everything in Minecraft Story Mode is kind of built with Minecraft blocks, pretty much. So there is a precise way to do everything. And we're going to start off by building the feet. So it's kind of like slabs like this, and then a layer of stone above them, like that. And now this is where things get a bit weird. There's a layer of, I think, kind of like redstone blocks. There we go, blocks of redstone. And these make up the kind of bands around the statue's legs and torso and arms. And what I like about this is they actually look a lot like the spacemen costumes that me and Sips used to wear. I still wear, and I think Sips does in Minecraft, but doesn't play anymore, so it's not as relevant. And then we're going to put some more blocks of redstone here as the bottom of his legs. Now we're going to work up to build the statue like this. And if I count right, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, roughly 5. Does that look about right? Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 2 more up at the top, 6, 7. And that looks about correct to me. And now we just fill these in. Oh, now doing this is really kind of whetting my appetite for getting back into building. So I think what I'll probably do is be coming back to Let's Build. I've got to build something for my Rule the World series. I've got to build a big castle. So if you haven't checked that out, make sure you do. And I'll be building a big castle in that. That's going to be amazing, made out of stone brick, and it's going to look fantastic. Okay, we'll bring the legs over here like this. Then build up with smooth stone all the way up to the torso section. And this is where his belt's going to be. And again, the belt is made out of redstone and is 3 deep. So let's just put in the blocks of redstone. Here we go. And then we'll need another layer of smooth stone. Now, if you're going to build this in creative, it's easy enough, but if you're going to build it in survival, you're going to need to use furnaces to make the cobblestone into smooth stone. So we're going to come away from the torso like this. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to reach out. No, wait, we need to put a layer of redstone here, this is going to be 3 by 3. And this is his armband. And then he's actually holding a torch. Like this, 1, 2, 3. And then a block underneath, because I think this is the actual torch he's holding. It's all made out of smooth stone, except the top, which I think is made out of white something. We're going to use a block of quartz, because that's the whitest thing we have. There we go, that looks about right. And now we'll build up with the smooth stone to finish up his shoulder. Here we are, and now it's time to build the front bit, the front part of his chest. Now I think it's like this. It's one above the belt, one block above the belt. But we're going to bring the sun around behind us so that we can see what we're doing. There we go, that's a much better place for the sun. And now the front of his chest goes up like this, all the way to the top, and the same over here. There we are, he has a chest panel. Now there are blocks of gold in the middle of that, so let's get the block of gold out and put those in the middle of his chest. Now there's 4 of them. And now we're going to come around the side and do the other arm. Now these definitely reach out by 3 blocks at the front, but there's also 3 blocks at the back to make the arm feel a bit fatter, more sturdy. And these are going to be his arms, or rather his hands, but again he's holding nothing in his hand. And then a red band here as a band around his arm. And then we're putting more smooth stone and building all the way up to his shoulder. Now we're actually going to cut the back of his body off to keep things looking a bit more symmetrical. And there we are, that looks a lot better to me. Although what we do need now is a layer of slabs up here. And the torch goes in the middle like that, and that's perfect. But we're going to change that middle block to be stone. And there we go. We're also going to change this block here to be stone too. And I think that looks a little bit better. Now it's time to start thinking about doing this guy's head, and his chest plate reaches all the way up. But his right arm is slightly higher than his left, so we need to make a few changes here. I'm going to cut off the top of his left arm and the top of his right arm, and just lower this slightly, and that should be correct. This needs to be on the other side, like that. And now we do the top half of his head. And his eyes lean out here by 1 block. And there's a layer above this. And again, the lucky thing about this statue is because it's a stone statue, it's pretty much 99% made out of stone, and there's only a couple of other materials to use to create it. And now the top level actually has more redstone that reaches back, and his head kind of leans out a bit to the back too. And now all that's left, I think, is to fill in the blocks of redstone along the top and then drag them down and around the side of the helmet. And now we're going to visit the feet again, because to take another look at them, they're not using slabs at the bottom for the feet. They're actually just using some darker blocks, something like, I think a grey wool is probably going to work well here, and it's going to reach out a bit in front too. Now the inside is filled up because it's like a stone statue carved out of the mountain, I guess. So it's in the side of a wall. There we go. And now to add the finishing touches, I'll just join up the bottom with the dark grey wool. And that's it, one of the stone statues from Minecraft Story Mode Episode 2. I think with 4 of these, you could use different colours for the redstone blocks. You could recreate this and use different colors for the redstone blocks. You could use lapis. You could have one made out of like a green and one made out of like a purple or something. And you could recreate the 4 stone statues underneath. And you could also build a giant amulet set in the wall. So if you do want to recreate anything from Story Mode 2, underground in the underground fortress, you could definitely use this stone statue as a model to base it off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change the backs of this to the dark grey as well. It almost looks enough like stone to appear like dark grey stone next to that smooth stone there. But let's take a quick pan around it and have a closer look at how, oh yeah, it does really stand out. Especially in the shadow of the evil fortress. Oh, doesn't that bode well? Oh, this is amazing. Well, all right, guys. Well, what I want you to do now is, if you've got anything that you've built from episode 2 from Minecraft Story Mode, submit that to me to storymodebuilds@gmail.com. And what I'll do is, if any of you have built anything really amazing from Minecraft Story Mode episode 2, I'll get your world safe, I'll dive in, I'll have an exploration around your world to see what you've built, and I'll show it off in another video coming out, I guess, pretty soon as I've gathered up those submissions and gone through the best of them. So guys, here we go. I'm just going to pose in front of the statue now. Thanks for watching, hit like and subscribe, and stay tuned because we're definitely going to be coming back to the kingdom at some point to get back into Let's Build. But until next time, guys, take care.